You're listening to the Tooth Sleuth Podcast, all about the business of dentistry, hosted by yours truly, Greg Essenmacher, a fixed full arch dental expert and founder of G&A Consult, speaking with industry leaders on the dental landscape from their perspective. At G&A, we specialize in transforming full arch dental practices, teaching, coaching, and training teams to deliver an exceptional patient experience, from that first call to delivering final smiles. Whether you're a practice owner, a DSO executive, or a regional leader looking to expand your full arch program, boost same-store sales, or unlock the true profitability of full arch cases, we've got you covered. Ready to see how full arch can elevate your practice? Visit the show page or book a discovery call today. Let's turn your potential into results. Welcome back to the Tooth Sleuth Podcast, everyone. Greg Essenmacher here. I think you know who I am, but if you don't, that's okay. Like, click, share, follow, all the good things that you do so that you can listen to future episodes. I am super excited. My guest today is none other than Dr. Aman. That's right, the founder of Women in DSO, the titan of all titans in the industry. Dr. Kaur, please say hello to my listening audience. I can't believe I have you on the show today.
Greg, what a wonderful introduction. I am feeling like a celebrity already. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm looking forward to our conversations. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you are a celebrity, and not just in dental. I think you're just a celebrity, period. We don't even have to qualify that. Well, I want to start because you and I have seen each other, known each other, and walked around in the same circles, but haven't had a chance to have an in-depth conversation. And I think some of my listening audience might want to know, what has your journey in dental been? So just a little bit of an overview. I'm sure people want to learn about that, and I do too, frankly.
Okay. Like we were talking earlier, how much I love talking about myself. So let's start. I am a dentist by trade and been in DSO space for almost 18 years now. And all these years I have worked in many DSOs, around 13 to be exact. And I worked in large branded DSOs, worked on development side, operations, have ran a few, and been working with private equity sector for a number of years. And in that, we primarily work on exits and acquisitions. That's been my experience in DSO space. And as we were going through different roles, different organizations, I learned that lion's share of work gets done by women. Many are running large departments, finance, HR for large organizations, not just DSOs, large vendor organizations. And we just felt that there is not similar representation of women in the leadership. And even though we are a women-dominated industry, almost despite of ourselves, I feel there's a responsibility to get more women at the leadership position by putting some effort and focus on that. So that's why we found Women in DSO. And that's been a passion project for a few years now. Next year March will be our 5th year anniversary at Empower and Grow. So really excited about the impact we have seen in the industry with that.
Well, what I'm hearing you say, and what I love to hear you share in that you just shared with me, is that I don't really like to talk about myself. And what I know, because in my organization at G&A Consult, it is women dominated as well. I happen to be the CEO and founder, but I have a lot of women in my organization as well. And do you find that self-promotion of women in organizations is part of the challenge that you've seen over the years, just as you've shared personally, that could be part of it? Or what are you seeing? I know there's a shift. With Women in DSO, it's lifting up women in positions of leadership, in positions that are already happening, but it's really giving them the visibility, is what I'm seeing, because I'm a big supporter of Women in DSO, love the organization. So are you seeing that, or is it something else, do you think, or a combination thereof?
No, it's a great question, Greg, and it's twofold. It's as our work has we have been working on this issue, it's twofold. One is we want to get women out of their own way. Women have a stronger inner critic than others. So we just want to make sure that women get out of their own way. But the second is also working with organizations and industry where women do feel supported and lifted and listened to. And like I said, it may not be my favorite topic to talk about myself. But it's gender neutral. Even some guys don't like to talk about themselves. But having opportunities where you are asked to talk about yourself, having more of them, it makes us more comfortable talking about ourselves. So visibility, giving a platform, having a sense of community, and where it's safe and it's easy to talk about topics that matter to us, and talking about our own work. We like talking about our work.
And we talked a little bit in the green room about this, but I about the mix of those that are listening, the audience of the Tooth Sleuth podcast, about, clinicians and those from the industry and entrepreneurs. So speak to us, speak to those that are out there in the listening audience, listening to this episode. I heard you say the word supported, right? To be supported in the industry. So when you share that, for those of us that are still learning, and are on the learning edge of what that can look like for supporting women in leadership roles. And I know you shared a little bit there, but can we drill down into that a little bit further? In what avenues, in what ways, in small ways and big, right? Those that are in the leadership and power positions, if you will, and have the positions of authority, certainly, but even those that, people like myself, right? That I have my own consulting business, I have a handful of employees, but how can we support other than, writing a big check or coming to, in ways that we can support, moral support, what does that look like? Because there's many of us who want to, for sure.
Yeah. I think the first big thing is starts with wanting to. That is so important, and it is undervalued because there are many people who can write just a check. So I have asked people, like, don't give us just dumb money. That very, very important. Believe me, we are a small organization, small budget organization, and can use all the support. But what we want is putting action behind it. And what that looks like you asked, is we call it sponsoring, not just supporting. So talking about if there is an opportunity, a good role is coming up, and saying, hey, I believe Seema would be great at this role. Let's talk to her versus, and then sometimes we are in boardroom, and with diversity in gender, we get diversity in perspective, and which can be a good thing, but it can also be very challenging to hear that. It's just uncomfortable sometimes. And I think in those opportunities, leaning in versus saying, I understand your idea is great, but I don't want to hear about it. I think those are the situations where organizations lose, our consumers lose. So picking those opportunities and creating an environment where people feel comfortable voicing their opinion, and it will really help us. We can hear good ideas. And then sometimes it takes a minute for those good ideas to come to success, being patient with them. And women have different challenges. They're constantly feeling guilty as a parent, as a spouse, as a daughter, a lot more so than our counterpartners, male counterpartners. So understanding that and not adding more burden to it. If someone needs to leave a little early to do a kids pickup, and I'm being understanding versus trying to put more work on them 15 minutes before they're ready to leave. Why do that? That's almost creating a burnout. So I think being understanding of those situations and not penalizing people for that. Small things go a long way.
And I love what I'm hearing from you, because what I'm hearing is the opportunity for sure, but also you spoke about the patience. So being able to uplift individuals, bring them forward for, I have this person, right? I think Seema was the person that you were talking about, for this opportunity, for this role, for this seat. And what I know to be true with your organization is that in Women in DSO, you're huge proponents of mentoring and mentorship.
Yeah.
I know, Margaret McGuckin, who's a senior advisor to my business, and Sarah Ruberg, and many, many others. I don't want to be exclusionary, but those are the two that just flashed in my mind when you shared that. And that mentorship piece, that it might be not no, but not now. Let's bring the resources to be able to elevate these individuals so they're ready for the opportunity. So rather than them, shrinking at the opportunity or putting them into an opportunity and setting them up for failure, let's support them through the mentorship and give them the guidance and support so they can level up and they do have the tools. Is that the idea and the concept behind? Because I mean, it seems like from what I'm seeing that the mentorship is huge. At least it's being promoted that way. So your social media folks are doing
Yes.
great.
Now,
That's what I'm seeing from the outside. So tell me from the inside.
so mentorship is, at Women in DSO, we have a mentorship program. It's our crown jewel program. We're very, very proud of that program. So mentorship, ours is a little bit better than having internal mentorship, but there is an opportunity to internally mentor people as you're bringing them into roles. And I've, like yourself, I have managed a lot of great individuals throughout my career. And if someone wants to be a VP or director next year, they are aspiring to. I typically say, let's start acting like one today. And this is what it looks like. And let me handhold you, because what happens with those big titles it's not so important for the bosses. It is much more important to the people who they'll be reporting up to now. And they are thinking about, hey, I'm reporting up to a VP and certain set of expectations. So getting them ready for having those future people who will be reporting to them is so important. And that's where leaning on to Women in DSO mentorship. And then, hey, we are working on this person to develop as a VP. And it's good if they could learn from someone in the industry. That goes a long way. Another big opportunity is if there is an opportunity to shine or have a little bit more outward facing image, where it would be great, a good leader to hold themselves back and say, you know what, I think Seema or Laura would be great. I would like her to be instead included in this session. So it gives people confidence. I think those opportunities, and we have a great platform. Our whole platform is about giving women visibility, and where people who are actually doing the work get to talk about it.
I mean, so beautiful to talk about that there's an opportunity for individuals, and it goes back to what I had asked earlier, which is the support piece, right? How can we support in ways other than, writing the big check? And I love that you talked about, right, being sponsors. And I think you said, don't give dead money or dumb money. Don't give dumb money, I think is what you said.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful. I love that line, right? I'm debating already like what the title of the podcast is going to be, because you've given me so many good one-liners. But the opportunity to be selfless as a leader, right? To not step aside, but step with and say, let this person have the opportunity because I know more opportunities will come, right? That is really believing in yourself. And something that you shared there as well that really resonated with me. And it's when somebody is looking to level up and to move to the next level, a VP or a director role, and preparing them, it's not so much for the leadership, it's for those that are going to be reporting up to them and preparing them for that, because it's a different level of responsibility. For those of us who have worked our way up in organizations, corporations, you've talked about it, DSOs, from your perspective, and I have working for the Strawman Group. And as you work up higher and higher, that sense of, am I worthy of this title? That imposter syndrome tends to creep in, for entrepreneurs and in corporate America. It's a real thing. You described it as well, that I think that burden is the word that's coming to mind. So I'll just use that word as a female, right? If you're a mother or a parent, and the other things of, school pickup and all of the things that come with that, I think it's incredible. I know that, of those that have been mentors in Women in DSO, I've heard a few of them even say, in the beginning, when I was asked to be a mentor, I didn't know how much I had to give that I was being asked to be a mentor. And even that piece, and then coming out of it, how much they learned themselves being a mentor and guiding someone along. And so, have you seen that as well for those who have been leveling up within your organization, Women in DSO, as they've been of service to others?
Yeah, I want to make one last comment on why it's important to be preparing people for the people they will be reporting up to. I strongly believe it's very easy to fool your boss, but really hard to fool your employees. So we should all be working for our people, our teams. There will be nothing to lose. Yes, we always want to make our boss look good, but we got to be working to impress our employees. If we do that, that's the way to feel good in your role. And so that's why I say let's take people where they want to go before they start there. So that's important. And when it comes to mentorship, I feel one of the best way to learn is to teach. So because and that's what mentorship is. And during mentorship, you are forced to pull things out of your mentee. So because ultimately we want them to we don't want to fish for them, we want to teach them fish. And what that typically requires is asking a lot of deep questions. And when we are asking those questions, as a human nature, we are also answering those questions for ourselves in our head too. So we end up relearning sometimes things we already knew, but we have forgotten, and we are about to tell this person, hey, you should use this, but we have stopped using that. So I think in the end, we all end up learning through that process.
Well, and what you're describing, at least from what I know to be true, is it's the difference between being a leader and being a manager of people. And when you lead people, you step out front and you're leading and guiding them through role modeling. And that's really the way to be able to lead. So I appreciate that. Well, I'm curious, like for yourself, who's mentored you along the way? Who's somebody that stands out for you that really has guided you along your journey? Which, I mean, from those of us, right, that see you who have really risen to a pinnacle in the dental field, right? You've created some beautiful things, created space, have an amazing message, and are lifting up women across the board in DSO spaces. Who's been a mentor for you and a leader that you look up to, have aspired to, and has really guided you and been a North Star for you?
I wish I could name one. There's been so many and continue to be so many. And yes, it started, my parents have been a great role model to me. And then I had a math teacher, exceptionally role model. But I think what I'll share with you is I wish I could name one person. But I have done one thing I'm proud of is I have kept a good set of mentors throughout my life, and I don't touch base with them on regular basis, but this is my mentor for this. This is my mentor for this. So I have a great set of mentors, and it has been ever growing list. And I go back to them and I report back to them, hey, I learned this from you and I used it today. But I stumbled on this one, or I learned this from you and I used it. I did even better than I thought. So I keep doing that. And now for my next journey is I am adding more to that list. And it is, it's changing. And, in the past, I have not been good about work-life balance. And I feel like I need to get there. Because I was thinking that, hey, maybe my life looks a little bit like a kite right now. It's not well proportionate. So I want to bring that. But then defining happiness has been different for me. And what made me happy a year ago is different than today. And then even that transition, because again, there's a set of expectations out there. So if I think, hey, I'm going to be happier doing this, I might be upsetting a big group who don't expect me to conduct myself certain way. And then that may lead to unhappiness, right, for me. So I've just been kind of constantly learning through those things.
I can so appreciate what you shared of having specialized mentors in different fields, in different areas, because I have the same. So I have a spiritual mentor. I have a mentor in business who really taught me how to be a heart-centered leader. And that was during the growing of the brand of Neodent when I did that as part of the Strawman Group. I have a business coach right now who really challenges me currently and asks me some deep questions and is helping me and reminding me to not look back, but look forward,
Yeah.
which is, I say reminds me because it's something that I have learned in the past, but need to keep learning on a deeper level. And it's literally the arsenal of people in my tool belt that keep challenging me. So I can so appreciate that and identify with it. Well, Dr. Aman Kaur, this is the part of the program that all of my guests for 130 episodes have played a little something called What the Sleuth is Going On. It's
Oh, okay.
3 rapid-fire questions. It's the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Question
nervous,
number
but
one.
yes.
A little
Yeah.
bit of nerves are good. It means you're excited.
Yes.
Question number one. What's the worst bad breath you've ever encountered?
Oh my God, so many. I work chairside, so um, good God. You know what? It was actually in Dubai in Middle East, and it was at a conference, and one of the very prominent leaders and dental leaders, and had severe periodontal disease.
I mean, the perio disease, it is like nothing else. Oh, I've been in dental for 18 years. Before I got into dental, I didn't know that aroma, we'll call it, that smell. Now I can smell it like 10 rows back in a plane. Like you
Yeah,
could be coming on the plane and I know it. I smell it. It is something. It is
yeah.
something. Okay, question number two. If you could change one thing about your smile, what would it be?
About my smile. Oh, um, I've started developing small space next to number 29. I would like to close that as yeah.
You know you're talking to a chairside dentist when they start talking about tooth numbers and what they would change. I love it.
Yes, that
You have
would
a
be one thing.
beautiful
Now
you have a
everyone I'm
beautiful
gonna see, they're gonna
smile.
look at my teeth.
Well, a lot of people listen on the audio, but for those that like are on audio, go over to the YouTube channel. It's about the 22-minute mark of the
Oh,
podcast and
great!
look. And
Thank
she's
you
got a
so.
beautiful smile. Look at her smile, everyone. You
Yeah.
can't even see number 29. Now she's gonna hide her smile for the rest of the
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
Question number three, last and final. If you could go back and be the inventor of any dental product, and no, you can't choose your own, which one would you choose and why?
Any dental product for what? Choose for what, Greg?
Any dental product, you could be the inventor. If you could go back and be
Oh,
the inventor of that dental product, which one would you choose and why?
Isolite. God dang, I love that thing. I I think it's so good for clinicians, so good for patients, and it helps with labor management, do good work, and it's such a great product.
It is. I appreciate you bringing that forward. It is a great product. Like, that is amazing. I wish I would have invented that too, right? You know, a trademark, put the copyright on that for sure.
I mean,
Well,
they're
Dr.
great
Kaur, it's been,
products,
yeah,
yeah.
please. No, please. Yeah, it's a great product.
I was just saying,
It's
going to say, Nomad, the handheld X-ray device is another one, but I still love Isolite.
agreed. I agree with you. Well, in the last few minutes, I want to respect your time and my listening audience. Is there anything I haven't asked you or that you want to share in the last few minutes of our program today?
No, it's been a joy, and yes, it's been a joy. You have asked all the great questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My guest on the Tooth Sleuth podcast today has been Dr. Aman Kaur, the founder of Women in DSO and of so many things. It has truly been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being a guest today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
If you need help with converting lead calls into consultations, closing consults into more full arch cases, or creating a more strategic marketing message and branding for your practice or group, follow me for more tips or reach out to G&A Consult for a discovery call today.